Yeah, so my mum first told me that I was going to go to Colchester, and I searched up and it was like 2.5 hours away. I was surprised because I wasn't sure about the journey, because 2 hours is quite far away and it's out of London. I was just used to going on a bus to South Park or something like that, so I wasn't really sure about it, and I didn't know the club at the time, so I was a bit nervous. As I got there, they welcomed me quite well. Obviously, because it was out of London, it was a very different culture, so I had to adapt quickly while showing them what I've got. So it was hard, but I got used to it. Well, I enjoyed playing against the top clubs in the world, like some Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal. I enjoyed playing against them, knowing I have the ability to challenge them, which is really good because that's what I want to do at the end goal. So I really enjoyed playing against the top clubs, and I just love playing football in the week, playing against them, showing the manager what I can do, and I wanted to prove to the manager I can go all the way. So I was at West Ham development for 2 years and a bit, I think, and it was a very hard period of time because I had never thought that I could get into West Ham. I was just there for my brother's sake. I thought they just kept me because my brother was there. Development taught me to fight for your place because there was 30 odd kids there and they all wanted the same thing as me. So you had to fight for yourself. Development, I think they should involve some of the development players into the academy, because they are all fighting for their dream and they're not getting it. Just playing with 30 odd kids in an Astro pitch, it's not good because they're not getting really as much involvement. So I think they should involve at least 2-3 players a week to the academy, so it could really boost their confidence and they can see what they have. The main difference, I'd say, is probably the organisation. They're very organised. When I came there, and I was a bit surprised on how they do things. They have like a setup way and you have to follow it. It's like a philosophy, you have to do it and for you to enable to go to that next level. So I was kind of surprised on when you had to be taught on how to pass a ball. Like, you just had to do the basics. I was kind of surprised in that. So yeah, they really worked on just basics, repetition, and that's what they really had to work on. I'd probably still say my position. That's one of the hardest things I've had to adapt to. Because me in grassroots, I was really free. I could just go and run through a team and set up a goal. But now in a more deeper position, it's really hard, and I have to get on the ball and pass it off quickly. So that was really hard from the transition from grassroots to academy football. It was really hard, but I had to adapt to it quick because the games were just going quick and quicker, so I had to adapt. I think a bit of both, because they move players a lot, quite a lot. So I think I used to be a winger or a striker or a 10, so I used to like scoring goals and setting up goals, but they moved me to a more deep position where I wasn't really allowed to show my 1v1 attacking skills or my passing ability, sliding passes through. But it taught me another part of the game of more of a commitment role. I had to be there for the other half of the work, so it showed me to do other things. Yeah, I think he's helped me along the way in terms of him getting into an academy early. He's really showed me how to adapt to an academy, because when I was on trial, I was seeing and doing things I never thought I'd really do, and he'll tell me this is how it goes, you're meant to do this, and I've helped him along the way because he hasn't really done the journey I have. We have like different journeys, so I help him along the way with, like, if he was to play on a less improved pitch, I tell him that's football, you're going to be doing that. Maybe in the long run you might go on loan to a lower league club and they might not have the best facilities, so you just have to work with what you have and play your football. Yeah, when he first got in, I was really happy for him because knowing my little brother got picked up at such a young age at West Ham, which is a great academy. So I just really wanted to do what he was doing, and he really pushed me along the way because seeing the tours and the journeys he had to do, I really wanted to do that as well. And he'd say, "Come on, Brian, get into academy," then push me on and just joke around like that. So he really pushed me along the way, which helped me a lot. I think we help each other in many different ways in terms of if I was to play up the next week, I'd always tell him, "You have to play up." So we'd always push each other to the max, and because I was older, I could tell him a bit more stuff that some of the younger kids wouldn't know at that age in terms of like men's football. Getting into men's football, you have to be hard, you have to be tougher. So we help each other in different ways. Well, it's very hard for them because they have to do work as well, so they would come back and they would quickly take me to football without eating, just drop them stuff. So I'm very grateful to have them, and my mum would pick up my younger brother from school and then pick me up, and then on the way drop my younger brother at West Ham, and then quickly leave him with a coach or a parent, and then quickly shoot off to my training. And then my dad would pick him up after the training, so it was very hectic and we had to know what we were doing constantly, so it was very hard for my parents, but they managed to do it. So, yeah. A couple years ago my dad had to buy a small car to take me around because my mum and my dad couldn't be at different places at the same time, so my dad had to buy a car. So yeah, one goes the other way, one goes the other way. So if my younger brother was at Tottenham and I was at Ipswich, one had to go to Tottenham, one had to go to Ipswich. So they didn't really have a weekend. They just constantly work. So I'm grateful to have them, really. Well, in a couple months' time, I'm going to be moving up to Colchester, so I think that's going to be a huge step in my footballing career. So I think I need to. My mum's already tried to knuckle me down and staying at home and staying focused, and I think that's going to be really, really hard because I'm used to my mum's cooking, and I don't know how they're going to cook for me. So I just try to stay down and just play football because that's what I really want to do. After training, I'd get home at around 9:39, and I'd have to do some of the homeworks, which were taking me at least half an hour. So I'd go to bed around 10:30, which is always hard. During school, I'd try to get as much work done, sacrifice some of my lunch and breaks to go and do some more work, which is always good because doing the work and then after go and play football, which I had to see it out both ways. So Colchester would regularly keep in contact with my school once a month at least, and you have to be up to their standards. You can't really get any detentions because of how far Colchester is. Once you get 1 hour detention, they'll immediately ask you where was you, and if you say you couldn't make it because of the detention, they'll start to talk to your parents about how that's not acceptable, because at the end of the day you're a footballer and school also, you need to juggle at the same time. So it's really important you're doing good in school and you're also doing good in football. So I think that's really important. Yeah, my mum always taught me to always have a backup plan, just because you never know how far football can take you, and football is a short career. So I always try to do good in school. What I'd like to do if I wasn't a footballer would be something to do with sports science, because I like sports and I'm good at science. So I'd like to become maybe a physio and maybe become a coach. Yeah, I think it's down to the player to know whether they should have a backup plan, because a backup plan is always good, because a football career is so short and you never know what's going to happen. Injuries, you might get released the next day, you might get released in a year. So I think you should always have a backup plan just in case. And even if you do make it, you need to do something after football, because football is so short. sad reality of that. So I think clubs should also help players when they are getting released, because I know some of my friends that have been released from clubs that have felt lonely and have gone through a stage where they don't know if they should carry on doing football or they should just focus on doing something else. And I think the clubs could support them with their emotions a bit more, and I think that could really kickstart them doing something else and not just to focus on football, as there's many other things in life. Yeah, I thought everything was just going to be given my way in terms of boots, sponsors and just playing up every week, but it's not the case. You have to show that kind of respect and your worth. You have to play good every week for you to be getting that luxury things, but it doesn't really come your way. I thought, seeing all these people on Instagram getting all these flashy things and stuff, it's not the reality.
Would you say that's a good thing or a bad thing? So getting things handed to you once you get signed, would you say that's a positive thing, or would you say it's a negative thing?
I think it's positive, because young players can really work up to show their worth in being able to get these kind of extras and things. So it really pushes them on to go and show what they can do instead of just getting things fed to them. I'd say it's sort of the same still, because I'll get on the ball no matter what. I try and lift the team up, and that's what I try to do. I try to take from grassroots to academy. I try to be a leader and to lead by example. I think it's followed me through, as I try to help my teammates to go, and I might not be the one to score the goal, to assist the goal, but I try to help my other teammates to go and do it, and really push them to do it. So. I'd say to never give up, because there's many examples of players who haven't gave up even through tough times and them being quite old. So I think never give up and always believe in yourself, because you never know what's going to happen. There might be a lot of injuries in a position you might play, and you might get told to step in. So I think just never give up and believe in yourself, because if that's what you want to do, go and chase that dream. So, yeah.